Hi, this is Jackie Murray with Ask a Tech Teacher. I'm your guide through these 32 lessons in the Structured Learning Technology curriculum. This is for first grade, and we're on lesson 16. We're introducing Google Earth. Now, students did do Google Earth last year if you've been following the Structured Learning curriculum. They did a project in Google Earth last year, so some of this will be a review to get them, they'll remember quickly how they did it. If that's the case, you'll want to go through it a little faster. If that's not the case, though, you'll want to go through it as though it was their first time, which it may be then. So I'll leave that up to you. So vocabulary words, they're probably all familiar with these words. Perspective might be new. Street view is new if they haven't done Google Earth before. Tour might be new. But the rest is pretty much what they're used to seeing. Problem solving, particular to Google Earth, Street View, it doesn't, everything can't go into Street View where you drop the Street View guy into the middle of something and it shows you what's inside. There is a finite list of places that works, but one of them is the White House, which is very cool. You just drop Street View guy on top of the White House and you get to walk around the White House. Doesn't work on Statue of Liberty and a whole bunch of others, but let them try and they might discover one that works, and then let them tell the whole class. Students who get in the White House in this way sometimes have trouble getting out, so have them just walk out a door. That works pretty well. Walking through walls to get out doesn't always work very well. Okay, and let them know if they have trouble dragging the globe around, just because some kids have trouble pushing on the mouse wheel and dragging. They can use the arrow keys. How do I visit sites around the world in a way that fits class schedule and budget? Google Earth is a great way to do that. It's free to use. They can use it at home. So if you have a project you start at school, they can carry on at home. Computers can explore the world in ways books can't. Very true. If you think of the SAMR model, substitution is where you're doing something with a computer that can be done with other materials. But by the time you get to the R at the top, it's doing things with a computer that you can't do otherwise with normal classroom tools. Make sure you're going to be visiting locations around the globe. So find out from your grade level team what sites they might like you to visit. It might be, in this lesson we used an example, country symbols, the things that when you see them, the Eiffel Tower, you think France. London bridges, you think Britain. So those types of things, we're using those in this case, but you might have another list that the teachers in your grade level team would prefer to use. If you're going to do the extension, which is Google GeoGreetings, have a list of student addresses. That's actually for finding them on Google Earth. Put GeoGreetings on class internet start page so the students can get there comfortably, and then have some words that they will find with GeoGreetings. Okay, so they're going to keyboard for warm-up. Symbols, you're going to find symbols of the nation that they live in, so remind them of their discussion of symbols. This is some of the things that were symbols that they discovered in the past. They've done it in their classroom. So that's all you're going to do is remind them. This is symbols, and now we're going to look for symbols, a picture that represents a country. So that's what we're doing here. Now, Google Earth is great on PCs. If you have Chromebooks, you can try one of these two. If you have, because the Google Earth app doesn't, they have an app now. Be aware, though, it doesn't always work the same as the full program that you use on Google Earth, the Google Earth program. So just be aware of that. Okay, open it, and as independently as possible, let the students open it, then play around. Do a review if you need to remind them of how everything is used, and then have them give them a list on your smart screen of places that they will visit. But you can start by showing them some of the places that are iconic for countries. The pyramids, say Egypt. The great herds, say Africa. All these hippos. And this is the Vatican, that says Vatican City, or maybe Italy. So remind them of those and then give them their list that they're going to find for their country. So we have a couple here that are kind of for the United States. You'll have your own list for either the United States that your students are studying or for your country. Just observe. This is automatic. You can help the students get to their first one, show them how to type it into the search function in Google Earth, fly to it, zoom in and out, go into Street View, all those things, and then have them go through the list by themselves. Student-paced, student-directed. You don't have to have anything to prove that they did it. Anecdotal observation is good enough, and just let them have a good time. Here's some ways, things they can do if you have extra time or want to extend the learning. And have them line up. Give them 5 choices of symbols that were on those lists and have them line up to exit based on their favorite symbol. And that would be their exit ticket. Okay, I think that's it. Let me make sure there's nothing in the student workbook if you're using those. I don't think there's anything. No, pretty much the same. All right, guys, have a great week. Let me know if you have questions, and I'll see you in a week. Bye.